what's your secret? You got the kind of vibe that leaves men speechless. It could be model multitasking genius. Yeah, you got it all.
Welcome to Breakthrough Conversations with Rhoda and Company, where we speak truth, we share stories, and we spark transformation. Today's episode is called From Burnout to Breakthrough, Honoring the Voice Inside. We're going to dive into this powerful journey to listen to our Born to Coach founder. And I'm so excited to have you here with me today, Krista Kathleen. And Krista is not only the founder of Born to Coach, she's also a life coach. She's a business mentor. She's a hypnotherapist for women who are ready to start and grow their online coaching business. And I just think she's an all-around adventurous and baddie. She gets it all done. So I'm delighted to have Krista here today. And Krista, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Can you just let's kick it off by sharing a bit about your journey from nursing to founding your organization?
Yes. So I went into my nursing career because that's what my parents told me would be an acceptable job and pay the bills. And I did it. And the first week I hated it. But I had this voice inside me that was saying, this is not your path. But I didn't listen to it. And I kept pushing through. And I was like, oh, it'll get better. Once I graduate, start making money, it'll get better. It never got better. I feel like it just kind of kept getting harder and worse. And I kept getting more frustrated. And but I stayed in for 5 years. And then eventually that voice inside me just kept getting louder and louder of you're meant to do something more with your life. This isn't the right path. I ended up hiring a life coach to help me figure it out because I was very lost and confused. And working with her was amazing. And it was like something just clicked and fell into place. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do what you're doing. This is amazing that people pay you to help them change their lives like this. And then shortly after having that realization, I got fired. And I say that was the universal 2x4 because I was too scared to leave my job. And then after that, my life coach was like, okay, well, you have this big, beautiful future ahead of you. What do you want to do? And that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to train to become a life coach. And I went to life coaching school. And shortly after that, the universe told me the message of you're going to have your own life coach training school someday and train coaches. And that was very scary to hear that as a new coach. Because I was just trying to figure out how to become a coach. But so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll know when the time is right. And then in October of 2021 is when I knew it was time to open up my own school. And I got it accredited by the International Coaching Federation. And we've graduated 40 students now and counting.
Oh my God. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Krista, for also listening to the voice and recognizing that it was a voice within. I believe there's many people who don't recognize that and listening to the universe, and then it kind of pushed you out there. And then also honoring your purpose and stepping into it, doing it afraid. I say we do lots of things afraid.
I was very afraid.
So kudos to you. I think you should snap it up for yourself. That is pretty amazing. Like, not only did you become a coach, you started a school for others to go through and get their coaching certification. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you mentioned when I was reading your bio, a moment when your first life coach helped you tune into your body's signals. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, she was the first one that started teaching me about my intuition. I never heard that term before. And, most people don't educate us on what that is and how to listen to it. And I remember in so many of our sessions, we would start talking and then she would be like, oh my gosh, I have chills. I have chills. And I thought that was so weird for someone to describe their bodily sensation in that way. So she started showing to me and demonstrating what that can look like when your intuition is talking to you. And so that's now when I'm working with clients and all of a sudden they're speaking and I get chills, I know that they're on the right path and I will communicate that to them. So that's kind of like an example of how your intuition can communicate to you in that way.
That is amazing. Because something I enjoy doing is speaking. like motivational and inspirational speaking. And when I am on stage, I feel such freedom. And I usually get trembles and chills when I even talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's where I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's amazing. I would love it if you could take me through some type of activity or exercise so I could just see what that feels like and try to see if I can hear my inner voice.
Yes, let's do it. I have a meditation prepared for
Okay.
you to help you tune in your inner voice, and then we'll see what comes up for you from there.
Okay.
Okay.
This is exciting.
Yes. And then for anyone listening, they can tune in as well and do this with us too.
Yes.
So, okay, Rhoda, whenever you're ready, you're going to go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
And you're going to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And you're going to take a nice deep breath in through your nose and slowly let it out. Do that again. Deep breath in, let it out. Good. One more time. Slow breath in, exhale out. Perfect. And just let yourself find your own pace. And with each breath, allow yourself to soften, letting go of the outer world and gently tuning inwards now. And imagine roots growing from the base of your spine and the soles of your feet, reaching deep into the earth, leaving you feel grounded, supported, connected. And above your head, envision a soft, warm, glowing light. It's peaceful, loving, familiar. This is your higher self, your inner truth, and your GPS for life. And let this light gently pour into the crown of your head, flowing throughout your body, relaxing every part of you. And now I invite you to imagine stepping into a quiet, sacred inner space. It could be a temple, a garden, a forest, or a cozy room. And in this space, you can hear your highest wisdom and source energy. And you notice a glowing presence, or you feel a subtle sense of you that's deeper and wiser. And greet this voice with curiosity and openness. And when you're ready, gently ask a question. It can be anything that you want, something simple but meaningful. And pause and listen and just notice what arises. Maybe you hear a whisper, feel a sensation, you see an image, or simply just know the answer. Let the message come through in whatever form it chooses and trust it. Even if it's quiet or subtle, it's real, it's coming from you. You're safe to listen, you're safe to receive. And gently begin to bring your awareness back to your body. wiggling your fingers and your toes. Take one last deep inhale in. Exhale, release. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and coming back to the room.
That was quite amazing.
Yeah.
Can I share with you what the voice responded to the question I asked?
Yes, please.
And it said, follow the energy that gives you the most peace. And it just kept saying it over and over. Follow the energy that gives you the most peace.
Wow.
Wow.
So what does that mean to you to follow the energy?
So I believe that I am not walking in my purpose and doing what I was created to do at this stage in my life. And I know that and I feel that. And similar to your story, I'm afraid to step out there and let go of like the full-time job for lack of finances and maintaining a standard of living. But I know that we have choices and we limit ourselves when we think that, oh, just because I just bought this house 2 years ago don't mean I have to stay in it. I could sell it. I can downsize. I can do lots of things. So that's what that means to me. Follow the energy that gives you the most peace.
Yeah. And see how quickly you were able to arrive at that. And now you get to decide what action you want to take from here with that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Of course.
So I'm going to ask a few other questions.
Yeah.
One is, so many women, they struggle with trusting their intuition.
Right.
Why do you think that is? And then what are some techniques besides the meditation that you can offer for the women to trust their intuition?
Yeah. Growing up, nobody teaches us about this inner voice, this inner tool. And we all have it. It's not just some people. I mean, like you said, you just literally just accessed it right now. So we need to have positive role models and mentors that will teach us what these things are and they're happening. And it's really subtle. And oftentimes we're so busy and we're rushing and we can't access the voice and the intuition from that place. So that's why in my school, with every class, we take the first 10 minutes to go through a meditation like that and to pause and to listen what's coming up into our body and listen to that voice and kind of block out what everything else is telling us outside of us that's not helpful for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
What role does intuition and being keen and locked into it you believe it plays in leadership, like in leading other people and leading teams?
I mean, I feel like it plays into everything because oftentimes we know what's best for our teams and we know what's best for our own leadership style. And again, we're trying to like read all these books and take all these courses and asking for everyone else's advice and opinion when in reality we know what to do. But like you said, we have to learn how to trust ourselves and it's a practice. It's not something you don't just like wake up one morning and start listening to your intuition. And it's something that takes time to develop, first understanding how it's coming in and receiving it and then being like, okay, it's okay to follow this. And I have an example. When I was first starting my life coaching business, and with any business, we have to do marketing to get clients and followers. And I kept hearing this voice in my head that said, start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. And I was terrified. I was like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what I would say. And it was so scary, but the voice wouldn't go away. And so finally I was like, okay, fine. I will start this YouTube channel. And I did it. And the more I started taking action, people just started showing up in my life that were like, oh my gosh, I can help you with video editing and I can help you with SEO. And my team just started to grow. And then before I knew it, it's how all my clients and all my students started following me. So essentially what was happening was I believe we all have this spiritual team. that is trying to help us to become the most successful, abundant versions of ourselves. And
Yes.
so they were telling me every day, use this YouTube channel as a way to market yourself and get your
Yes.
business up and running. And
Yes.
once I stopped resisting and I finally listened, that's when my coaching company took
Yes.
off.
And all the help was already there. They
It was
like
already there.
appeared.
Yeah,
You just had to be open to it.
exactly.
That's
Yep.
amazing. That's
Yep.
amazing. So, how has you mentioned a little bit about your marketing, but how has that intuition shaped the way you lead and run your business and how you design your curriculum?
Yeah, well, every morning what I do is I start off with 10 minutes of meditation and I tap into my spiritual team and my CSO, Chief Spiritual Officer.
Yes.
And I ask them, what do I need to work on today? What do I need to focus on? And I just let the answers drop in like it did for you in that meditation. And then that's where I design my business from and how I create all my curriculum and content, or if I need to go hire someone, just because a lot of times, like, I don't know how to do a
Right.
lot of these things in business, but they'll tell me like, oh, go hire this person and they can help you as well too. And so it's just such, you just feel so supported and so
Yes.
guided, and it feels so good. And that's why I'm teaching my students how to run their business from this place, because it sucks when you wake up every morning and you feel lost and you're
Yes.
like, I don't know how to make money. I don't know how to create clients. I don't know what to do next. We don't want to be running our
Right.
life from that place.
No.
Yeah.
Or you feel trapped.
hmm Yeah.
What are some of the stories you can share about a transformation, one or two, based up on the women that you've had the opportunity to inspire and pour into?
Let's see. Let me think about this for a moment. Mhm. So let's see. So you're saying like maybe someone that I've like
Yes.
a private client I've worked with,
Yeah.
they're a coach training
Yes.
student and they've tapped in. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me sit with it for a moment.
And their life perhaps was one way, and then through your coaching and through their interactions with you, their life transformed.
Well, most of my students, when they decide to join the Born to Coach Training Academy, they join it from a place of listening to their intuition. And they always tell me that. They're like, I don't know. They're like, it was just something about seeing your YouTube videos and your presence and your energy. And something inside me said, I need to join your program. And then it's like, once they do, their life completely changes. And
Yes.
so it all literally starts from making that decision from their intuition. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool how, and then like when they're feeling stuck, when I'm coaching them and everything, I'll say, okay, go back to that moment when you knew that it was time to join my
Yes.
program. How can you tap back into that place, that place of inner knowing? And then
Yes.
from there is when all the answers start coming through.
Yes. How do you help them differentiate between intuition and fear?
Yeah, I love that question. So our intuition, which is the same as like our higher self, source energy, it's all one and the same. This feeling is a feeling of love, light, expansiveness, encouragement. It feels really good in our bodies. Fear feels constricted, contracted. It feels like doubt, imposter syndrome. So I always tell people like to tune into the vibration and the feeling of the energy, and you'll know if it's intuition or if
Versus
it's fear. Yeah,
That's good advice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to differentiate. So, what's one exercise like you recommend listeners to try to start reconnecting with their inner voice?
Yeah. So that meditation I just took you through, I recorded it for my podcast. So I'll send you the link. So
Yes.
people can do that every morning. And then journaling is really good as well, too, to just get our thoughts out of our head, get our minds
Yes.
clear so we can allow stuff to come in. Walking in nature is really good. That's where I'll get a lot of downloads as well. Um, I like to read books about spirituality or listen to podcasts. I'm really into Esther and Jerry Hicks
Okay.
right now. Esther channels the entity of Abraham. And so just certain things, you'll notice that when you start listening or reading to it,
Right.
that if it leaves you feeling encouraged and motivated and inspired, then that's a good sign that your intuition
Yes.
is activating.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know that you do some talks. What is the title of your signature talk, and what's the core message behind it?
Yes. And I actually just came up with it
Mhm.
recently. So
Uh-huh.
what is I think you have it written down, don't
Yeah.
you?
Did I write it down? The from the burnout to breakthrough, honoring the voice inside.
No, it's something
Mhm.
else. Hold on, let me. Yeah, I just came up with it recently.
I love that you're always continuing to evolve too.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Okay, so it's called Awaken Her, the Voice
Yes.
Inside.
Yes.
So, yeah, this next phase of my journey, what the universe is wanting me to do is
Mhm.
to really get out there and start doing more speaking.
Mhm.
And next year, I want to write a book and teaching women and life coaches how
Mhm.
to use their intuition more.
Yes.
Because again, I don't feel like there's enough resources and
Mhm.
people teaching us how to do this.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't know when our intuition comes in, what that means, how it feels. And so I really love to
Mhm.
give people the tools and the exercises on how to do that. So that's kind of like what
Mhm.
I'm being guided to start doing next.
And I think that's a great niche because, to your point, I've not seen a lot of resources, if any,
Right,
on this subject matter.
right.
So that's amazing. So, what advice do you have for women who may be feeling stuck or out of alignment with their purpose?
hmm Hire a life coach. That's what coaches are great at,
Yes,
is we really
yes.
hold space for you to, share what's
Mhm.
coming through. And that's when I was feeling stuck
Mhm.
in my nursing job, and I was like, I want to switch and transition into
Mhm.
something else. I don't know what to do. And then just by her listening to me
Mhm.
and asking me these really great questions and really believing in my
Mhm.
capabilities, potential, that quickly accelerated to helping me to figure out, oh, I also want to be
Mhm.
a life coach. And so this is why I believe so much in the coaching profession and
Yes.
became one myself. So yeah, hiring a life coach is a great way to do
Mhm.
that. Also, anything that you can do to, like I said, moving your body,
Mhm.
going out in nature, journaling, meditating. I literally I signed on a new coach training student yesterday,
Okay.
and I asked her, like, why is now the right time for you
Mhm.
to transition into coaching? And she said, I just started meditating. I felt called to meditate.
Yes.
I've been doing it every day. And she said the answers dropped in that I needed to become, a life coach. And so, yeah, this stuff really does work to help
Amazing.
to get things flowing and moving so we're not stuck.
Yes, yes. You've transformed your life. You've went from nursing where you really didn't enjoy it from day one, but you
Mhm.
hung in there for 5 years,
Yes.
and then you acquired the knowledge and skills and abilities and the credentials to become a life coach,
Mhm.
and then you started your own coaching school, and
Yeah.
you're evolving that, and you're planning to write a book. You have a podcast. What are the top three lessons you've learned along your journey that you would love to leave with our viewers?
Mm, the top 3 lessons. Um, okay, the first one that's dropping in is
Mm-hmm.
just because you went to school for something and got a degree in it, and your parents told you that this was a good degree that would make money, and that you don't have to follow that, and it's okay to
Right.
leave that without any guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a lot of guilt leaving my nursing career behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first lesson.
Mm-hmm.
The second lesson is to always trust your inner voice and your intuition, and learn to identify if if it's fear
Yes.
based or if it's intuition based. And like we talked about, we'll
Mm-hmm.
know it's coming from intuition or source when it feels
Yes.
loving and exciting and motivating. So
Yes.
yeah, always listen to your intuition first
Mm-hmm.
before getting any other outside opinions. And then the last piece of advice is To slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down and be more still.
Mm-hmm.
That's also another great
Mm-hmm.
way that we can start to get all the answers and
Mm-hmm.
hear our intuition. And when we're just constantly going,
Yes.
it's really hard to hear anything from that place.
So
So
true.
yeah,
Those were beautiful
yeah.
and wise. So, what's next for you in Born the Coach, and how can listeners connect with or support your work?
Yeah, let's see what's next for Born to Coach. I mean, I'm always looking to expand my program. So we have a level 2
Mm-hmm.
program. I want to offer a level 1. People in the life coaching world, they'll know what that means.
Yes.
And then I'm also want to keep offering programs to help my students to renew their credentials as well
Mm-hmm.
too. And then I'm also this fall looking to going through a coach training program to
Mm-hmm.
get trained in plant medicine and
Oh,
psychedelics.
wow.
And I want to start bringing that into the coaching
Mm-hmm.
space as
Mm-hmm.
well too. So that's a whole nother
Yes.
podcast topic.
Yes.
So yeah, that's on the agenda. And then my plan is to write my book next year, The Art of
Mm-hmm.
Intuitive Coaching, and just
Yes.
starting to teach life coaches more about how to access their intuition and bring it into their coaching sessions with their
Yes.
clients.
Yes. And you can
Yeah.
even use that book as part of your curriculum once you get it written.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
You got a lot of exciting things coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was just a beautiful reminder, in my opinion, that breakthroughs begin when you listen inward.
Yep.
And I just want to give a huge thank you to our guest, Krista Kathleen. I just love to say that. Krista Kathleen,
Thank
for
you.
sharing her story, your tools, your wisdom, and your truth. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So to our listeners, if you're feeling the nudge to reconnect with your intuition or step into a more aligned version of yourself, take this as your sign. And then until next time, I am Rhoda, and this has been Breakthrough Conversations with Rhoda and Company. We want you to stay bold, stay grounded, and honor the voice inside.
Perfect. Oh, and should I share about where to follow Born
Yeah.
to Coach?
He stopped the recording.
Oh, okay.
You'll put it
Okay.
in. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so so if someone, after listening to this, if they want to become a life coach and train with us, our website is borntocoach.org. And then I also have a free download as well too. It's the ultimate get started life coaching checklist. So
Okay.
you can see everything that you need to
Mhm.
get started as a life coach, and you can see a life coaching session outline in there as well too. And then I have my personal website, KristaKathleen.com, if someone feels called to connect with me and wants
Yes.
private coaching and learn how
Yes.
to use their intuition to build the ultimate life and business.
I love it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Hey, what's your secret? You got the kind of vibe that leaves you speechless. It could be model multitasking genius. Yeah, you got it all. Hey, what's your story? A kick-ass mom and 40 under 40. A soccer practice in your high heel glory. Yeah, you do it all.